Hey everybody, this is Julie Quinn, and I'm going to give you a quick how-to in creating a reference entry or a works cited entry for your readings. You're either reading Amy Tan, David Sedaris, or Andrew Braxma. So what I've done is I've gone back into Module 1, which has a repeat of those links, just to sort of show you some shortcuts on how to set this up. So each of my tabs up here, I have Mother Tongue, I have Me Talk Pretty One Day, and I have some lessons from the assembly line. And when you go in through the library databases, here's a trick to make your life a lot easier. On the right-hand side, and this will actually help you in many classes to come, on the right-hand side is a citation option. And what we need to do, actually, before we do this, is I need to go to a Word document, and we need to differentiate between how you name a source in the body paragraphs and how you name a source at the end of your essay. So there's two things. The first thing we do is call it an in-text citation. You would say Braxma shows that, and then maybe you borrow a specific quote. That would be considered an in-text citation in MLA style, because MLA style does not require the author and the copyright year. If we wanted to do an APA style one, and actually let me just make this font a little bit bigger here. In APA style, the only difference would be the copyright year. And what was his copyright year? I believe it was 2005. There's more than one way of naming your source, and this would be really important in your summary assignment for week 4, I believe, where you're not going to be quoting. You're going to be writing in your own words what your authors say. But you always want to name that author in every paragraph. And I've been giving you guys a lot of feedback already about naming your author in every paragraph of your discussion, so we know which text that you're orienting us to. The other way you could do this is say the data. Here's another way of doing it. 75% of workers get laid off if you wanted to do it in MLA style. And then if you wanted to do it in APA style, the only difference here is the copyright year. So what I'm showing you now is what's called the in-text citation. Let me make this font a little bit smaller so everything is on the same line, just for ease of viewing. There we go. So I'm just putting these little labels here to show you what the difference is. So all of these are considered in-text citations, so in the body of paragraphs that you write. Now, if you are doing a works cited entry, which is what's the bibliography in MLA naming, this is what goes at the end of the text, where you list all the information like the author name, the title, the page numbers, the URL. So here's the trick and here's the shortcut. So, for example, I'm linking into the library database for Amy Tan's Mother Tongue. If you use this little trick over here where it says Cite, and you click on it, it's going to give you a bunch of options. The idea is that we want you to spend the majority of your time doing the actual writing and less time worrying about the formatting of a reference or an in-text citation. So when you use library content, the citation option within the EBSCO database will always be there. So if we wanted to do an MLA one, it's going to do for print version, which is absolutely acceptable for me. So references is the APA version, and it looks just like that. And then you could go back and we could do MLA as well. So let's find MLA, and these are organized alphabetically. You'll see that there are just so many different versions out there. The font isn't exactly the right size, so of course you would go to 12 point. You would choose Times New Roman. You would choose, double spacing instead of a hanging indent. On the works cited and the references, note that they go not on any pages of what you're writing, but on a page after it. It's a separate section of your upcoming draft and final critical analysis, and it just gives readers an understanding of here is exactly the source that I used to talk about it. It's a really good way of saying if you're interested in finding out this information, this will give you everything you need to know. So this version of Mother Tongue, because it's the article, the essay, not the entire book Mother Tongue, published in 2006. And then the references, you'll notice this is 6th edition, I think. It's okay with me if you're using APA 6th and you haven't gone to 7th, don't worry about it. Whatever the most updated version is in the citation formatter is perfectly fine with me. And again, the ones that you'll want to use are either MLA, for those of you history majors, English majors, education majors, and then some business, and then the APA style depends, of course, it's usually used for social sciences and hard science majors. So these are the differences. You'll name your source in the text, and then you'll have on a separate page after your draft and after your final submission a works cited with just this one entry for this assignment. And then upcoming assignments in English 123 and beyond, you'll find that you'll have multiple sources for the research that you do. You'll have multiple entries in the works cited or in the references. So again, don't forget to name your authors in the summary paragraph of the work that you're doing, because of course you're summarizing their work. But and don't forget, if you want to practice, to create a works cited or a reference, and I can give you specific feedback. Okay, reach out if you have any questions.